What's up guys, and welcome to today's video. I hope everybody's well. Today we are going to be discussing alcohol. I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts on it, my approach to it, if I am going to consume it, and just giving you guys some general advice, particularly if you wanted to improve your physique, your career, your relationship, your lifestyle, whatever it might be. This year, 2022, has been a big change for me, particularly in the past 6 months. I have done a lot of reflecting. I've looked at my life. I've visualized where it is that I want to be. I've put together a plan in order to get there and understood what things are going to help me to reach that goal and what things are going to knock me off track. And I've looked back at over the past 10 years or more and realized that the one thing that always knocks me off track the most, whether it be with my work or my physique, it's always alcohol. The negatives far outweigh the positives, or at least for me in particular. And as I have done a lot of learning and become a lot more aware of the impacts of alcohol, it really does make me think, well, what the hell am I doing? Like, why would I even bother to consume it in the first place? I am the type of person, when I drink, I suffer the next day. I suffer more than I used to suffer like 10 years ago. I'm now 32, so if I go on a night out and I have a big session of drinking, if I'm drinking more than 10 drinks, I'm going to feel it the next day. But not just the next day, I'm going to feel the impacts of it for probably 2 to 3 days until I can start to feel my normal self again. Not only mentally, but physically as well. Because if I try and go to the gym the day after or 2 days after a big drinking session, I'm weaker, my ability to push to levels of discomfort is harder, I'm more fatigued, it takes me longer to recover, my strength is down, it's ridiculous. But not only that, it has a massively negative impact on my sleep. Not only the duration of my sleep, the quality of my sleep. I've been wearing Whoop for over a year now, and I've noticed a pattern every single time that I do go out and drink and I'm having more than 3 alcoholic beverages. My recovery the next day is almost always in the red. Red means poor recovery, it's like under 30 or 25%. The main reason behind that is because the alcohol drastically lowers your HRV. And it also causes you to wake up in the middle of the night. For me at least, I wake up, I'm restless, I find it hard to go back to sleep, and it just means that my overall duration of deep sleep and REM sleep is just nowhere near as high. So what does that mean the next day? I feel absolutely terrible, and it's one of the reasons why I feel so hungover. Sleep is important, and if I'm literally trying to do everything possible to improve the quality of my sleep and the duration of my sleep, and alcohol is one of the biggest things which can negatively impact that, so it doesn't really make any sense. If anything, I try and think to myself, well, why is it that I want to consume alcohol in the first place? And when I've thought about it, the main reason is simply because everybody else is drinking it. If I go out to a social event or a party, look around, everybody around me is drinking. And that, in the past, has really just kind of almost forced me into also drinking as well. But I look at my life now and I'm like, what now? Am I going to do something because everybody else is doing it? Am I a sheep? No, I'm not a sheep. And I think in particular, what has changed drastically over the past few years is I have become a lot more confident, a lot more secure about myself and who I am. And I genuinely just really appreciate the reality which I'm in when I'm sober. In fact, now when I drink, I actually feel uncomfortable when I start to move away from that reality and get into this new, drunken state. I don't really like it. I'm losing control. I say things I wouldn't usually say, and then I behave in ways that I wouldn't usually behave. Nothing bad, but just kind of, if I was to look at myself sober and watch a video, I'd be like, it's pretty weird. And if it is the case that I am in any situation where I feel uncomfortable and I feel like I need to drink in order to make myself feel more comfortable, then maybe that's just a sign that I shouldn't be in that situation or environment in the first place. If I'm not going to enjoy it sober, then what's the point of me being there? It clearly isn't something which I like to do. So maybe instead of doing those things, I should go and place myself in other environments or situations which I am genuinely happy to be when I'm sober. My approach now to going out and drinking and partying is very different to what it was back in the day. Now if I'm going out to a social event or a party, the main purpose of me going there is to either celebrate a special occasion with friends or to go out and network. Networking is very important, and a great way to network is actually to go to these events and parties and so on. But I have a couple of rules in place. Before I go, I decide if I'm going to drink or not, and I don't let anybody change my mind once I get to the event. If I do drink, then I cap it. Most of the time it's 2 drink maximum, because I notice that's kind of my limit where I notice the following day it's not going to negatively affect me in any way, nor will it affect my sleep. There are going to be some occasions where I will drink more, and usually that would be the case if I know the following day I don't have anything to do, or that everything in my life is in order and I'm currently happy with the way things are going. And I think this is very important for you guys to know. If you are serious about transforming your physique and you're 100% committed to making that transformation, just cut out the alcohol, okay? Any alcohol that you do consume is just going to slow down your progress and most likely hold you back. Second, if you are broke, you're struggling for money, or you're working a job that you don't enjoy and you're looking to make a change, you want to improve your life, drinking alcohol is no doubt going to hold you back in some way, shape or form. If you want to make a change, you want to focus, you're starting a new career, a new business, you need to be 100% focused on that, and you need to have a clear mind, clear vision, you need to be thinking quick, and you can't afford to let anything hold you back or slow you down or distract you. And I think this is an important point to discuss: alcohol and relationships, or alcohol and dating, particularly relationships. I've been in a relationship, I think 2 of them before, where my partner liked to drink a lot of alcohol. I didn't really like to drink, but because, you know, I was spending a lot of time with her, we were going out for food, we'd like to go out on the weekend, I was drinking way more than I would do usually. And I didn't want to, but I was simply doing it just because my partner wanted to. And now I've come to the realization that if I'm going to be with someone, we have to have similar values. And I know that if I'm going to be with somebody who likes to drink a lot, it's just not going to work out. We're going to argue, she's going to be upset that I don't want to drink, she's going to think I'm boring, and she will literally be happier with somebody else who likes to go out and drink a lot of the time. That's not something I really like to do. I'm going to be better off with someone who doesn't like to drink also. And the same thing when it comes to dating. You know, back in the day I'd go on a couple of dates, and the thing to do when you're on a date a lot of the time is to go out and have a couple of drinks. You know, makes them feel more comfortable. In the past it would make me feel more comfortable, and even though it wasn't something I really wanted to do, it was something I would just do because it's you know, it's just a thing to do, it's inevitable. Now if I go on a date, a lot of the time I'll just say, oh, I don't drink. And how they respond is going to dictate whether or not I go on future dates with them or consider them to be a partner. If they say, oh, don't be boring, and judge you for it in a negative way, then this is not somebody who I want to be with. If they say, okay, fair enough, I admire that, I respect that, you've got your shit together, you're focused, you don't want to poison yourself or, you know, damage your body, then that person is someone who, okay, yeah, I'm probably going to get on with this person, like we share similar values, or at least she respects my opinions and my belief. So that is my thoughts on alcohol and my current approach to it. I can't really imagine it changing too much at all in the future, particularly now I'm very focused on myself, progression, business, and optimizing my health. If you do want to know more about how alcohol affects the body, then I recommend you check out the Human Lab podcast. That is a great listen. I wouldn't really say it was an eye-opener because I already knew it's really not that good for you, but it just kind of cements the belief which I have that it really is something you should be consuming less of instead of more of. And I know there are those people out there that can, I don't understand how they do it. I think it's just their genetics or the way their body is, the way they process alcohol, but they can go out and drink an excessive amount of alcohol, wake up the next day and feel absolutely fine. And I used to be envious of those people. I used to be like, oh man, I wish I could be like that. I wish I could go out and drink loads and just be fine the next day. I call these people high-functioning alcoholics. But in reality, I actually think it's a blessing that alcohol literally destroys me the next day and the following few days, because it is a deterrent from me drinking more in the future, which means, you know, if I drink less, then I'm going to be healthier and no doubt I'll be able to progress more. Those people, they can actually still progress, particularly with their career, and go out and drink a lot, in which case, you know, fair enough, but obviously it's going to hold you back in terms of progressing with your physique, and you may develop some pretty serious health issue if you continue to drink that amount of alcohol. So that is that. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.